What's good YouTube? Welcome to my channel, Lars in Conditioning. In today's video we'll talk about progressive overload, what it is and what many people get wrong about progressive overload, even people who are coaches. A person that is a coach that misunderstands or blatantly misrepresents progressive overload is Greg Doucette. He is supposed to be a great coach and knows a lot, yet he has a video on why progressive overload is killing your gains, where it talks about if you plan on your training around progressive overload, then you'll run into problems because he equates progressive overload to only adding weight to the bar. For a guy that has trained for more than 30 years, he clearly lacks knowledge in this area. We will discuss what progressive overload is and some reasons why Greg is very wrong, and how he goes to extremes. He claims if you could always progressive overload, then you'll become Mr. Olympia or be world champion powerlifter if you always could. Anyone that trains for a few years knows genetics matter. Not everybody can be a world champion, yet Greg equates progressive overload to be able to do this. The first thing progressive overload is adding weight to the bar. This is the most basic form of progressive overload. At a certain point, it will take longer to add weight to the bar. When you're new to the gym, you can follow what's called a linear progression model very well, which refers to adding weight to the bar every week or every other week, which will work for some time. Over time, it will take longer and more sessions to add weight to the bar because you're getting closer to your genetic limit and as well needing a different stimulus. Now, the second thing progressing overload is doing more reps, which can be done by several methods. One such thing is adding more sets, which is also the third way of progressively overload. If you normally do 3 sets of 10 and adding a fourth set, even with 5 reps, on the fourth set, you're still doing progressive overload. Because you're doing more work than your body is used to, over time you can add reps to that fourth set and thus have progressive overload without adding weight. Super simple, yet someone like Greg misrepresents what overloading is. However, progressive overload is far more than he equates it to. He equates it to always adding weight and completely skips over the progression over time, which is what progressive overload refers to. You do more over time. As an example, when you first started going to the gym, maybe you could do 20 kilo bench press for 8 reps. Now fast forward 2 years, you might be able to do 90 kg for 8 reps. Even though the reps are the same, you still lift more per rep when you did when you started, which is part of what progressive overload is. At first, you could do a total working volume of 160 kg per set, and now you can do 720 kg per set. Now, what about the days where you're tired? Should you try and do more on those days? No, of course not. That could maybe lead to injury. What you do is lighten the load and do more reps. Yes, this is also a form of progressive overload, as lighter loads leads to more reps, which means higher training volume. With the bench press as an example, if you normally do 3 sets of 8 reps at 90 kg, that will be a total working volume of 2160 kg. However, you are tired and doesn't feel like you can perform at this level. You lighten the load to say to 70 kgs and you might be able to do 14 reps per set. This leads to a total volume per set of 980 kg, which leads to a grand total of 2,940 kg of training volume, which is almost 800 kg more of training volume than your normal working sets. You did so without sloppy form and without the need for some aggression and hype that heavier sets require. No matter what the style of training you're doing, you can progressively overload by adding an extra set with half the reps of your normal set. You will have weeks where you can progressively overload with that set without needing to add weight. Say you normally do 6 reps per set, then you add another set where you do 3 reps, and then you just keep trying to add one more rep until you get to 6 reps on all sets. Then add weight and go back to your normal number of sets. No matter if you do 2, 3, or 4 sets at base, you just go back to that. If you follow this to a T, you'll have 4 weeks where you can progressively overload with the same weight. To recap, progressive overloading is adding weight, sets, and reps. There are several ways of going about this. You can even change the amount of times you rest so you rest less. There's a lot of options of how you can progressively overload. If there's anything related to today's video you would like for me to cover, just comment down below. Thank you for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. Lars in Conditioning, signing out. Have a good one.